Hi, everybody. It's Diane. As you read in the title, I'm copying somebody. It's Dina Wakley, who, if you've never watched any of her demos, she has several, well, more than several, quite a few videos here on YouTube. I highly recommend it. Even if you don't, she does a lot of tags, a lot of art journaling. If that's not what you do, you don't particularly like her finished products, they're awfully abstract. But her sense of composition and use of color, you're not going to get much better than that. She knows what she's doing. So if you just want to take away that from her videos, you'd be doing yourself a favor. She's really, really good. And she has a very low pressure approach to art, which I don't, you know, that's not an issue for me, but it is for some people. Anyway, I do recommend her videos. And I'm sure there's a big threat of her watching this video, but I kind of hope she doesn't because I don't have any of her products. I would love to buy a bunch, but I'm on a limited budget and I really don't need new stuff. But anyway, how she makes tags, that's what we're doing. She usually starts with her, it's a gloss, but this is just watery craft paint on her work surface and then schmutzes the tag through it. I've never tried this. That is really cool. She's right. That's so cool. Okay, and this is just heavier weight, I'm sorry. Printer paper. A card stock is probably better, but this is what I had handy. If you're going to do this, watch the complementary colors. If they mix together, you're going to get like a brown, which, if that's what you want or whatever, but watch it. Okay, so I'm making some tags and then I have to let them dry. She generally, in her demos, she moves on and doesn't take breaks, but I'm doing a break so these can dry. But yeah, this is cool. And I mean, can we all say easy? I mean, come on. It's fun too. I don't recommend this process on your dining room table. This is actually, I think I did explain, but way back there. This is actually like a DIY kitchen counter I'm working on. And it is my craft counter, so I don't care if it gets yucky, but the paint will wipe right off of this. So for me, this is fine. If you don't have that type of surface, you could probably put down wax paper or something like that to protect your surface. Okay, I'm gonna let these dry, maybe weight them if they don't uncurl, and clean up my schmutz, and I'll be right back. Hang on. Okay, the tags are dry. They flattened out all by themselves, which was very cooperative of them. Okay, Dina usually puts on a stencil area on her tags. She uses paint. I'm not doing that. This is it for Diana stencils. I'm going to try ink. If I don't like it, big deal. I'll put paper over it or something. I don't, as you may guess, since this is my stencil collection, I don't use stencils a lot. Um, I just never felt a big need. That's okay. See, part of it is, see, that's not a real crisp line. I'm not a fan of that. And I decided to use brown because this is a Halloween thing. If it wasn't, a blue might look nice, a nice contrast. That's better. I think I'll leave one or two plain. Okay, okay. And I do wash these off. I'll try these leaves on one just because I have it. This one, yeah, it's a little hard to, I mean, if you want to do it as is, that's fine. But often I'll move, it's because they're spaced, and so you got to watch that you're not rubbing into another leaf. Yeah, it's real tricky. That's okay. See, that looks stupid. See, I gotta, all right, we'll cover that in some way. So you have to point that out. Now that looks stupid in case you didn't catch that. Okay, those other two I'll leave. Okay, I pre-stamped a lot of what she puts on her tags are stamped images or a transparency that's and they're all black that I've seen. So I don't, I don't have her stuff. So I stamped on tissue paper some Halloween images. No, don't like that. Some of them are awfully small, I admit it. Yeah. If I don't like this, we'll go to scrapbook paper images. I don't like it with the stenciling that I had to do. Let's try. See, that's kind of cool. All right, let's build off this. She puts down gel medium, puts them down with gel medium. I don't have that either. I don't, this is the poor man's Dina Wakley channel. Welcome aboard. But in all seriousness, if you're interested in this and have not seen her work, go watch her work. Like I said, if nothing else, the way she works, her, like I said, low pressure attitude and her color and composition is definitely worth it. Okay, then she takes scrappy stuff. Um, Now I have not seen every single thing she has ever done, obviously, but uh, I've I have never seen her really like go to scrapbook paper and fussy cut a rose and that type of thing. So, and she very often grabs just what's on her desk, which sometimes I do that. Okay. All right. Okay. She tears a lot. Okay. She just cuts shapes a lot too. Very free form. I generally do not do that, but I could certainly try it. And she very often has a quote on her work and or that, oh, the writing that you can't read what it says. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I always forget what it's called. You guys probably know what it is. All right, let's do a little bit of that. I probably should have put that down before the image, but you kind of, in case you've never done it, you can kind of write, but make it loopy and messy, and it's so people can't really read it, or you could just make up, words that don't spell anything. that we are aware of. So, uh, okay. I kind of wrote Happy Halloween October, or OCT. She does that real well too. See, that does really add. No, this piece is not working for me. That's better. She very often staples her stuff on, and then will even staple a tag into a journal. I don't do that either. You should title this What Diane Doesn't Do and Dina Does Do. Occasionally she does sew on stuff. These probably would look nice with black stitching. Once in a blue moon you hear her dog bark, and you hear that here too. We have that in common. Our names start with D-I. What more do you want? Okay, that's not bad. Is that crooked? And she doesn't go, is that crooked? Okay, that's pretty good. She spatters a lot. I think I'll probably do that at the end and do them like all at once. Um, where is my paper? Here. I had my Halloween words on it. Well, how about Happy Hauntings? And that looks like a haunted house. You said she tears a lot, Diane. You're not doing that. Yeah, I know. Well, I can't just jump in and change everything I do all at once, right? Let's ink the edges of that. We ink the same way. I saw her do this the other day instead of getting a dauber. No. No. I guess in the middle. Okay. All right. And then I'd say this is done. She doesn't overdo stuff, which can be hard to do. That's a good takeaway lesson from her, too. She is a proponent of white space, as I am. I totally agree with that. Maybe it needs just a touch of something, um, a little definite something. Um, Maybe a star. These aren't Halloween related, but I will punch a hole. I don't think I've seen her put fibers. Where's that scrap here? Ties, yarn, whatever. Maybe she has. Like I have not seen everything she does. She has some sort of Facebook group thing. I've never seen that. Okay, that's. If Dina's watching this, she's probably saying, "You watch it. You're going too far." Okay, I'll probably trim that black. All right, I'm going to take a break because my husband is stranded outside. I told him not to come in until I come and get him because I was filming. I'll do a couple on my own and then I'll come back and do another one or two with you guys. Okay, hang on. Okay, I did some on my own. I have two left. I did a little prep here. I pulled images. This is scrapbook. Let's try that. I did a border, emulating the border on that. I did some asemic writing on this one. Asemic. And you probably won't believe me, but that's what I thought it was when I couldn't think of it before. And in my brain, I'm going, no, that's not right. You don't say that. You'll sound like a fool. No, that's what it is. Do I want to ink the edges? Then there's this big, yawning, gaping pause. I was kind of thinking I should have left enough white so I could do another border. No, that would be way too much. But do you want to ink the edges? I don't know. Let me stand here and think about it. Okay, remember we had this haloing effect there, which at this point I'm not too worried about it. By the time there's a hole there and I put something in it, I don't think it's a big deal. How about some cheesecloth? And all the colored cheesecloth I have is Easter egg dyed, which that works really well. It takes it like that. Okay, if we do something like that, that'll conceal that too. Okay. He needs a hat or something, don't you think? Oh, I've got a witch hat punch. Witch hat punch. It's kind of hard to say. Okay. Witch hat punch, maybe to the rescue. And this one we're doing horizontally, which you may think is a tad odd for a tag, but I've done that quite a bit in my life. Diane's a tad odd, what can we say? Let's see, need a jack-o'-lantern or something on his broom there, or her. Okay, which one? How about the taller one? So what are you going to do with these tags, Diane? I may just put a couple around for decoration. I may make Halloween cards out of them. Or a few. Are you wearing your glasses, Diane? No. Should you be? Probably. Here, we'll just fussy cut half of that for now. Oh, that's okay. I don't know that it's great. That there. Needs a little color, a little something. It's too plain. Come here. No. I don't think I want brown. No. Diane, did you wash those stencils off yet? No. Did you forget? Yeah. No. Nah. Uh, If I'm desperate, am I desperate? She's getting there. No, the viewers are getting there, Diane. No. Okay. Wow, she said okay. Okay, I don't know how wide I want this. A little narrower. All right, that's something. Want to do something with this? Maybe. That's okay. All right, that's pretty good. Um, do we want a word, a real word, a non-asemic word on there? And I didn't even look it up. While I was off, I was looking at some other YouTube videos and stuff. And one of Dina's came up on the side that was asemic writing. Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, kind of cute. Um, Maybe a little cheesecloth. I don't have real orange. This is like a peachy kind of color to me. Mm, that's a bit much. I did put blue on one of them. You'll see it at the end. I thought that turned out pretty cool. What about good old white? It's okay. I think it's too much with the broom handle, and that if we angle it more, something like that, that's better. Okay, and keep in mind these are going to have holes, and I was kind of thinking of maybe using a Tim Holtz reinforcer sticker, maybe, or going around in black, and that won't be perfect and it'll bug me, but something around the holes, maybe. Okay, I'm going to pause now and finish these off. I'm going to spatter and that type of thing by myself, and then you can see them all finished. Okay, hang on one more time. Okay, I think I'm calling this project finished. So here's the one that we started with. I sewed up here. I added a few, it's jar top stamping is what Dina does. I used a small glass because it was handy. I also colored a couple of these stars with a white gel pen. I think that's a little better than it was. Um, this is kind of dumb. Don't do that. No, Dina would not do this. So I added the punched witch hat. And just for the record, it's a little smaller than I thought it was. And if I had it more centered on his head, the top of this lined up exactly right with that line. Looked really stupid. So that's why it's a little cockeyed. And then there was an awful lot of negative space down here. So I put a bow on, and Dina would not be doing that. Stitching up there. Yeah, they all have stitching. And they all have, these are actual old cloth reinforcers that I've sharpied with a black Sharpie, markered over to get the color. And if you're rushing off to do that, watch it. I don't know if it'll pick it up. It does kind of, this is the cloth type, as I just said. So that was actually fraying it a little bit. But for Halloween, I think that's fine. But if you want a nice, perfect reinforcer, don't swipe a marker across an old cloth one. It'll fray it a little bit. That's cool. That just happened to be on a black paper I had grabbed for bats. So I thought, why not? stitching on the bottom here. Yeah, they all received stitching. I didn't really plan on that, but that's the way it happened. This one, I did go over the pumpkin with a marker. It just did not show up. There's orange under there, and even over the asymmetric writing. I never remember that word. But it just did not show up. It looked kind of cloudy with the tissue. And why didn't you just stamp on them, Diane? Because I'm not the world's best stamper, and I didn't want to risk ruining a background and a tag, so that's why I stamped separately. You could probably paint, this is our permanent ink, so I could have, but I just grabbed a marker. That's fine. I had, Dina wouldn't be doing this either. Yeah, there was a little bit of the pumpkin shell showing there, and it was sort of a real pale orange look. Well, I don't like that, so I just went over the brown. No, that looks stupid, because then it was so dark. It made the eyes and everything look really goony, because they just look so much bigger. So that's a white gel pen. We went over the brown marker. Yeah, that was kind of dumb and a lot of fussingness. It's okay in the end, but that was kind of stupid. Okay, this one. There's a lot going on there. And then this one, I did put some yarn in just so you could see what it would look like. I didn't on these because I might turn them into cards. Place these on a card front, in which case I probably wouldn't have bulky yarn. But just so you can see. And this is the one that has the blue cheesecloth. I thought that actually was kind of cool. It, is a complementary to the orange. Okay. Well, I think these are a win. They're not great. For a first attempt at Dina's style, I think they're pretty good. Hers are better, as they should be. She's been doing her style longer than I have. The one in a million chance Ms. Wakley is watching this. Thanks for your inspiration and your videos showing your methods. I enjoy those a lot. It's nice for you to share. Everybody else, like I said, do yourself a favor. Go watch some of her videos if you've never seen them. I can pretty much guarantee you'll pick up something, or at least be in awe of her. Like I said, her sense of balance and composition and color is, you can't get any better. So you might as well watch and pick up some tips, right? Okay, thanks everybody. Appreciate you being here. Have a nice day.